Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives, to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check it off, because we make getting vaccinated easy. You've got this, because we've got you. To learn more, visit yougotthis.usaging.org.
From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey everybody, I'm Doc Hamels, and I am more than happy to be back here. And I want to do a special thanks to Randy Burt, who covered Chautauqua Sunrise for the last 3 weeks, and he made it through. He took you to Kenya and Togo, and then getting ready for the ride for Roswell. So that is like awesome. So Randy, thanks so much. When you have a project as big as this, you have to have somebody you can rely on so you can get some time off. So anyways, we went to Greece for a couple of weeks and then stopped off and saw our German family, our adopted family in Germany. And then I figured it out, 5 time zones, 8 different plane rides, like 12,000 miles, and it went on and on and on. It was fun though, but I'm glad to be back. So I hope you're all doing well. So good morning, good afternoon to all my listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown. You're listening to us Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. And thanks for listening. We got a fun show in store for you because, well, it's that time of year, and we'll get to that here shortly. All right. So also, if you want to give a call, or you have a comment, or you want to share something, give us a call. It's 716-753-5225. Or if we're not here and you want to send in an announcement, as you often do, give us an email at chautauquasunrise@gmail.com. I remembered all this, Randy. I don't even have to look at the monitor. Anyways, we're happy to get your announcements on the air because that's what we do. You know, we're wrapping up. Coming close, like a couple more weeks, we will have finished 10 years of being on the air. So I'm really excited about all this. So want to do a special shout out to all the dads out there. You know, we often say, well, what's a dad? A dad is anyone that's out there doing the job of a dad. Stepdads, uncles, they can be ladies for that matter, because the role of a dad is so important in the lives of kids. And it's probably one of the best jobs I ever had. The second and only best is granddad. I love being a grandfather. So anyways, to all you dads out there, have a great day tomorrow. Hopefully, you get a little extra pampering and so on. Speaking of dads, in the opening parts of the show here, you'll see a guy with a military hat. He has like a, World War II veteran. That's my dad. He's passed now, but he would have been 101 this year. Unbelievable. But he was my 100th guest. So I'm thinking of my dad right now. So I hope you all have good memories of your dads and granddads and so forth. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, do a shout out to our friends in the Ukraine, Natalia and company. We're still thinking of all you guys and haven't forgot about what's going on over there. So hang in there, and we're sending you good vibes. Okay, we got some announcements, and my guests are chomping at the bit to get on the air, and you'll see why here in a little bit, because that's how he is. Talking about you over there. All right. Here we go. Number 15, Jeff. The Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation invites the public to the 38th annual meeting on Monday, June 24th at 4 p.m. The event will be held at the BOCES Liquidus Center, located at 9520 Fredonia Stockton Road in Fredonia. Two quick things there. I used to run that place, and I'm on the board of directors of the Northern Community Foundation. So what do they want? They invite you to join them to celebrate the impact, partnerships, community investments, and accomplishments they've done throughout the year. During the meeting, they'll present a very special award called the George B. Weaver Jr. Footprints Award to a gentleman named David Hazelton. I know David, in recognition of his outstanding contributions to philanthropy and service within our community. Additionally, elections for new board and voting members will take place. So this is your foundation, folks, and if you're interested to get involved or want to know more about it, show up June 24th over at the Liquidus Center, 4 p.m. There'll be a nice catered reception afterwards, and if you're interested, give them a call at 716-366-4892. And of course, if you can RSVP, it's always appreciated. Moving along, number 16, let's go to Jamestown. This is really cool. The Reg Linnae Center for the Arts, the 24-25 season of live concerts and events goes on sale to the public on June 17th. Listen to this one. The season starts October 11th with Greg and Dana Newkirk's Haunted Objects Live. Featured on the Travel Channel and Amazon Prime, the couple brings an interactive presentation uncovering chilling true stories behind the world's most haunted objects. Then, America's Got Talent quarterfinalist Puddles Pity Party performs. Woo! That's a lot of P's. He's the gentleman in the clown suit up there. He performs live in concert November 8th. The 7-foot sad clown has a golden voice comparable to rock legends Freddie Mercury and Tom Jones. Woo! That's kind of quite a span. He'll perform standards, pops, and more. I saw this guy on TV. He's pretty incredible. So that's something you might want to check out. The Reg's years-long holiday concert streak continues on December 14th with Squirrel Nut Zippers. I'm not making that up. With Squirrel Nut Zippers in concert, the 90s revivalists of jazz, klezmer, and old-time music perform selections from their Christmas Caravan album, along with the finest new and classic songs from their own catalog. The national tour stop is sponsored by PNC Bank. Then in March, of course, you're getting towards St. Patrick's Day. One of the world's leading Celtic bands performs live on stage, the Young Dubliners. And if you've ever seen the regular Dubliners, they're awesome, but these must be like the next generation. They performed all over the world, theaters and so forth for over 30 years. And then there's just other shows that are coming up that I won't go into because there's a long list. But if you're interested, always give them a call at the box office at 484-7070. And you can stop there from time to time throughout the week. So lots of cool things happening at the Reg. Now, something for you to know about, June 12th, which was a couple days ago, the Dunkirk Farmers Market kicked off their opening season. The market takes place every Wednesday through October 9th from 9 to 2 p.m., rain or shine, outside the Dunkirk Senior Citizen Center at 45 Cliff Star Court under the city's new Agrarian Pavilion complex. They're very excited to announce that Refresco will once again be the title sponsor for the 2024 Dunkirk Farmers Market. Okay, so if you haven't been able to get to a farmer's market, it's food to table, okay? It's not food to table, farm to table. I got it right, farmer's food to table. And when we were in Greece, it was the same thing. The food we ate had been just picked that day probably. The fish was caught that morning, whatever. Farmers markets are like that. It's right from the farms, fresh to you in Chautauqua County. So how cool is that? So that one is on Wednesdays. Now, Jeff, you don't have these. I just wrote them in real quick and we'll be done. First Friday is in Westfield. If you haven't ever done this before, the first Friday of the month in Westfield, they close the streets from the corner at the light all the way down, I think it's towards Tarp, somewhere in that region. And they have all kinds of vendors and fun and music and so forth. And so that's something to keep in mind if you're new to Chautauqua County. And I think it starts at 5 o'clock, goes to like 8 or 9. Everybody has some special drinks and foods and things like that, so it's lots of fun. First Fridays in Westfield. Additionally, the Westfield Farmers Artisan Market started recently and it ends in September. It runs Saturdays 9 to 2. It started like 2 minutes ago. If you haven't been through that one, this thing has been growing. I've watched it over the years. I don't even know. I think there was like 45 booths last year or something like this. So if you want food, artwork, you want anything for the house that's kind of just to perk it up a little bit. They got all kinds of cool things there. And then, all right, look this one up, Mayville. On Thursdays, starting mid-June, so I'm guessing this week maybe, keep an eye out for that through the end of August. They're going to have their farmers market from 11 to 5 on Thursdays. So you got Wednesdays in Dunkirk, you got Thursday in Mayville, and Saturdays in Westfield. So check them out, support local farmers. I'm going to take a breather right now, and we're going to get to our show because my one guest is ready to just get on the microphone, so I got to hurry up. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Okay, as you know, here in Chautauqua County, we have a fabulous baseball program, so I'm officially going to put on my Tarp Skunk hat because I'm a part of the team, right? And so I want to welcome back Randy Anderson, who has an important role. I don't know what it is, but you're involved with the Tarp Skunks, and you got some friends with you today. So good morning, Randy, and welcome back.
Thanks for having us, Doc. And,
Absolutely.
Good morning to all your viewers and your listeners on WRFA on Tuesdays. So normally I'm on your show in my role as the president of the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame. But today I'm literally wearing another hat.
Yes, you are.
So I'm one of the founding members and on the board of directors of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, and I'm pleased to have our brand new manager with us today, Ben Julian from St. Petersburg, Florida, and one of our top players, Eli Harpalani from Wexford, Pennsylvania. So I'm going to just turn it back to you, Doc. It is your show. But,
yes, it is.
But I am going to butt in.
Thank you for reminding me of that. Yes, I was prepared to step out if necessary. All right, so it's called the Perfect League, correct?
The Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League.
I take out the middle words. It's called the Perfect League.
It's involved with teams all across New York State. The Jamestown Tarp Skunks play in the Western Division. Besides Jamestown, our opponents are Niagara Falls, Batavia, Geneva, Newark, Auburn, and Elmira.
Okay, and these teams are comprised of what level players?
All the players in this Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League are currently enrolled in colleges all across the United States.
Do you have to be in college to play?
Yes. You have to be enrolled and
in a college team, I'm assuming. Okay.
Absolutely.
So there's no walk-ins.
No.
So
No,
I don't have a chance.
No.
Okay.
Do you have eligibility left? If you've got collegiate eligibility, we got a shot. We do need a couple arms.
Okay.
Now, it's important to note, Doc, that these are not professional players. They're still collegiate.
Soon to be, though, in some cases.
Well, that's the whole plan. That's why Eli and his teammates are here. They want to improve, they want to get noticed, and hopefully can make the next step to being a professional player.
Okay, before we get to your guest, all right, we got to just lay down a little foundation because people still say Tarp, Skunks. I understand this story, but I think it bears every time you come on at least to give the abridged version, because seriously, because I think people should appreciate it's a really cool story about the Tarp Skunks.
When we were forming the team back in 2019, 2020, something like that, we needed a new name.
New name.
The old name was the Jamestown Jammers, and we wanted to demonstrate that this was a brand new team, a brand new ownership group. The owners of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks are 50 individuals from throughout Chautauqua County. We're kind of like the Green Bay Packers in that we're a community-owned team. There's not one guy that owns the team. It's 50 people that own the team. So again, the analogy is to the Green Bay Packers. So we were looking for a new name for our team. The trend in minor league and in collegiate ball is to have a unique name, something that's going to be memorable, something that people won't forget, something that will sell merchandise. So while we're thinking about what our name could be, we were talking to our groundskeeper at the Jamestown Stadium, Russell Dietrich Park, and we were saying, you know, we're going to need to make sure that the tarp that's at the stadium is in good shape, because we're going to need it during the year. So let's roll it out and take a look at it and see if it's going to be good enough or we need to get a new one.
This tarp is a great big piece of something that covers the infield, correct?
Yeah, it covers all the dirt area of the infield.
Okay.
You know, so when it rains,
Yeah.
it doesn't turn the infield
That's
into mud.
expensive dirt.
Yeah, well, and expensive tarps. Tarps are not cheap.
Okay.
Interestingly enough,
Yes.
the tarp was invented by a man from Chautauqua County.
And his name was?
Howard Emke from Silver Creek, New
See,
York.
I remember, because I always say that's empty drilling.
So he's the guy that invented infield tarps.
Okay.
So we're talking to our groundskeeper about pulling out the tarp.
Hold on a second. Eli, we do this all the time, so just be prepared. Okay.
So, okay, we need to pull out the tarp.
Pull out the tarp.
And he says, okay, let me go down and make sure that the skunks are not in there.
Skunks. Okay.
So it's in the springtime. The skunks have been living inside the cylinder
Okay.
that the tarp is rolled on.
I got you.
So think about it. What a great place to live during the cold
If I was a
months.
skunk,
It's
that would be my
warm.
first choice.
You're protected. So the groundskeeper says, "Well, let me make sure that the skunks are out of the tarp before we go down
So they
there."
traditionally have lived there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And still do. So we go, wait, skunks in the tarp? That's a great name. Tarp Skunks. Voila.
Voila, there
and
you go.
there it is.
So I think I asked you this before, and you didn't like my answer, but what's the mascot's name?
The mascot is a skunk outfit,
Yeah.
and its name is Whiffy.
Oh,
Now-
not Stinky.
No.
Oh, okay.
Whiffy. Now that has kind of a double meaning.
Oh, I know. That's what I do in
The-
baseball. I whiff all the time.
Okay, so you got the one side, the whiffing in baseball, but then you have the whiffy
Yeah,
odor of a skunk.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if Ben or Eli ever heard this, but while we were initially thinking of a name for our mascot, the first name that came up was Ken Whiffy Jr.
Oh.
And we thought we might have issues legally with Ken Whiffy Jr., so we just shortened it down to Whiffy.
Whiffy.
So there we are.
Clever. Okay, so the Jammers were like Bush League
They were a minor league professional team.
to a bigger team.
Yeah, the last year they were in town, we were affiliated with the Pirates.
Okay. And so they went away for whatever reasons, and now you guys, 50 of you, have invested in this project. Okay, and that was your business plan, to bring baseball to the stadium, to sell merchandise, to promote it, and have a great summer of fun playing ball?
We've had baseball in Jamestown for over 80 years. And it was the desire of the 50 owners of this team is to keep baseball in Jamestown.
well,
We think it's an important
great
asset
stadium.
in our community. And the idea is to never get rich. That you don't get rich.
I saw your truck out there.
Yeah, you could tell. The idea is to have a business plan that will allow us to break even and sustain the team year after year after year.
good on you guys.
And we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
You know, I remember going to some games, I don't know, 20 years ago or something like that. The attendance was okay. Last time we went, right, Randy, and we brought the whole crew here, from here to the stadium, and there was a lot of people.
Last night was a free night sponsored by Wegmans. So
Oh, nice.
Wegmans bought out the stadium and anyone could show up last night. And we had in excess of 1,000 people
Nice.
at the ballpark last
Nice.
night.
What's the capacity?
3,000.
So that's a good number, you know.
So we had a kids' night, or kids' day, earlier this season, an 11 o'clock in the morning day game, and all Chautauqua County High School students were invited to attend at no charge. And that day we had 2,754
Are you
students.
kidding?
2,754.
You were rocking it.
Yeah, well, Eli and Ben can talk about what it was like to play in front of that many spectators who were very excited to have a day off of school.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear this. And I know that you guys have been building and building and building, and we're so happy to support you guys, you know, through our media here and so forth. All right, so let's get to the folks that you brought. Brand new people, never met them
Sure.
before.
Well, I'd like to introduce you to our manager this year, Ben Julian,
All right.
from St. Petersburg, Florida. And I'll just turn it back to you, Doc,
Okay.
and go ahead and beat up
I
Ben.
don't beat up anybody. I don't beat up people. Good morning, Ben, and welcome to the show.
Morning, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So, Ben, you said you were coaching Auburn, which
I was.
is, what, east of here?
It is. It's the furthest east in the Western Division,
Okay.
and now I'm in the furthest west. I was there for 3 years, and came into Jamestown as an opponent for all 3 years. And as fun as it was, I'm glad to be on this side of the crowd this time.
Okay.
They're quite passionate fans here, so it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. So, what's your history of baseball? Did you play ball when you were a kid?
I did. Grew up around the game. I'm from Utica, New York originally. So just like Jamestown had the Jammers, I grew up around the Utica Blue Sox, which were affiliate for a number of teams, most when I was a kid with the White Sox.
Okay.
So I was a bat boy as a kid, and then in 1992, my father became president of the New York Penn League,
Wow.
which was the league they were in. So it was great until I found out I was no longer able to be the bat boy, and that kind of caused a little bit of an issue for me as a 12-year-old kid. But so I grew up around the game, and I was lucky enough to be able to play in high school and collegiately at New Jersey Institute of Technology on a scholarship. So I was able to really kind of play at the same level these guys have been at. I fell in love with the game as a kid. Took some time off from it and got back into coaching when I was in my early 30s and fell in love with it. Part of it is with Father's Day coming up. I don't have any children, so for me, my boys are
Sure.
a really big part of my life.
Absolutely.
And that my ability to be a part of something for the future, my impact, my legacy, if you will, is being with these guys.
I talked to Jordan when he was here.
Jordan Versil, our manager for the first 3 years.
And
yes.
you guys, you and the players, and there's something there. I don't know what it is. There's a bond, and there's unspoken things and looks, and everybody kind of smiles, and so there's that unspoken friendship and bond that's going to go forever.
I just want to explain to your viewers that our previous manager, Jordan Basil, is now the head coach at SUNY Fredonia.
I saw that.
And that's what caused us to be in need of a new manager for the Tarp Skunks.
Well, we move on.
And we heard that Ben was going to be available, so that was a pretty easy decision for us.
So, but Ben, Jamestown's not home for you, right?
No, it's becoming home very rapidly.
But I mean, you live in St.
St.
Petersburg.
Petersburg, yes. I'm
So-
the head coach of St. Petersburg High School down in Florida.
That's a pretty big school then.
It's the oldest public school in Florida.
How many kids are there?
That's a good question.
Make up a number. I don't care.
Yeah.
Nobody. We're not going to check.
The answer is yes.
There's thousands of kids out
Yes,
there. Yes,
absolutely.
Petersburg is a big area.
Sure.
And growing all the time.
Yes.
So, why did you get involved with this particular league?
2016, I was coaching at a community college in Utica, New York, at Mohawk Valley Community College. And I realized I had already been coaching for 3 years, and I realized it's what I wanted to do. So I heard there was an opening in Boonville, New York, in this league, and ended up applying and got the job. It was my first head coaching job, and as fun as it was in Boonville, it was the level of play that I really fell in love with, and be able to do it. Something about playing every day. It's probably the closest I'll ever come to a professional schedule as far as minor league or major leagues go. And for someone whose baseball has been such a huge part of my life, and it has been the one place where I feel that I kind of have an idea in life. Life's pretty tough. So is baseball. And so the analogous nature of it all really helps me get through other aspects of life too. And so to be able to share that with kids from all over the country, I've felt I've been there in their shoes, and to be able to be part of that and help them through in any way really has been a big part of making me become the person I am today.
I was a school superintendent. I know I don't look the part, but you were a teacher. You looked the part. Anyways, one of the things that was always the tug of war was the sports, the arts, and the academics, and where's the balance? And I think many schools get the balance. They get it. Sports are so important in the right proportions, as long as it doesn't go over the top. And I remember growing up, I played, miniature baseball or whatever you play when you're in 8th grade or 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade. And the camaraderie of just those years of playing baseball with the other guys, and good memories. And I always tell this story. I always played like center field, and they decided to have a game with the upper league or upper teams. We were like the mid-range, and they brought in the big guys that were like 2 years older than us. And this kid named Pete Persico, who lived around the corner from me, he was a huge kid, and he had big muscles. And he gets up to bat. I'm in center field. The sun's in my eyes. Crack! The ball goes flying in the air, and I just catch it just as it's passing the sun. And I put my arm out, and all I do is just hold on right into my mitt. I saved the day. But that's the memory that I take away from being in Little League, And I had a baseball bat that I forgot we had 43 home runs with or something, that finally I had to tape it together and retire it. And I asked my brother, where is that bat? He still has it. I mean, it's got screws in it, nails and everything. Couldn't do that now. But anyways, good memories for me playing baseball as a kid. All right, Eli.
Sir.
Harpalani. Cool name.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you're from Pittsburgh area?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so where'd you go to school?
I went to Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Graduated in 2021.
Okay.
That's a good school.
Best times.
That's
the
a
best
good
times were in
school.
high school. We even going through COVID and everything, my junior and senior year, they figured out a way to make it special, even in those years. And we got to do our graduation at a big Catholic church in downtown Pittsburgh, and got to do the whole thing. No masks, no nothing. It was nice to kind of keep it in the rear view and enjoy high school and enjoy those memories.
So now you're out of high school. Where are you going?
I played at a junior college in Tallahassee for my first year, and then I played at a junior college in North Carolina, Catawba Valley Community College, for 2 years, and now I'm transferring out. Not sure yet. That's what we're figuring it out this summer.
So, being a musician for 50 years, I always told the upcoming guys, always have Plan B. If baseball doesn't work out, have Plan B. So what's your Plan B?
So I'm currently studying business, or I got my associates in business. So gonna try and transfer those credits over into a finance program, and eventually get my graduate's degree.
Good.
And work into a finance job. So
Good.
That's the goal.
Sports and finance all work together just fine.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Okay, so how'd you get into baseball? And what tell me your story.
We're a huge baseball family. So my older brother, he's
Pittsburgh. They got some team down there, don't they?
No, go Bucks. Go Bucks. Huge baseball family. My brother played, so he's 4 years older than I am. He also played in college, and ever since I can remember, we were always at the baseball field. And I mean, I remember running around my brother's games even when I was about as tall, about 2 foot, 3 foot tall. Exactly. And being the bat boy for them and seeing all the older guys play, you start to look up to them and you start to idolize them, and then that's all you want to be, even from when you're 3, 4, 5 years old. And, I mean, you start working
Is
from
your
then.
brother still playing ball, or did he?
No, sir.
Plan B.
Plan B. Plan B. Got his graduates, took the education route, and
Good.
he's doing well. So.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you played minor league, little league.
So our Pittsburgh's version of it, we didn't have a Legion or Little League, but we had, we called it in-house. So it was all the kids from the area, and you get put on different teams. You get to play against them.
Yeah.
It was a good time, and I still remember the park like the back of my hand. We played there every weekend, Fridays and Saturdays, every weekend for I don't even know how many years.
I remember going to a Pittsburgh game, and we were staying at a hotel down there, and as far as Ben is to me, there's Barry Bonds, because he was playing at the time against them.
Pre-steroid Barry Bonds.
What are you talking about? And but I remember going there, and it was just a beautiful park, and we really enjoyed that. We used to take kids from Ripley, go down there and see a couple of games once in a while. So, what position do you play?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I play a little bit everywhere. So second base is kind of my bread and butter. But then everywhere else on the field, I'm just, as long as I'm on a baseball field, I'm happy. I'm good to go, and I'll do my best wherever I am. But I'll play just about anywhere you can put me.
I tell friends that I bring to the ballpark that Eli's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of the Tarp Skunks. He literally can play every position on the team. Last night he was playing third base for us, and there was a hot shot come right down the line. He dove for it, made the catch. There was a runner on third who had walked off the base. He crawled over and touched the base. Unassisted double play. Nice play last night. Yeah,
you don't see that very often.
No, he was on his game. Yeah.
What's your best memory so far in baseball, other than what he just described?
Best memory? I remember having to answer this at the beginning of the Tarp Skunk season for the fans, and I think the best memory as of yet is just any time I got to be on the field with my grandpa, I would say. That was always, I mean, those memories kind of.
Tell me about your grandpa.
My grandpa actually was he started this whole thing off. So when he was in high school, he was an all-star basketball player, all-star football player, and all-star baseball player. And he got drafted by the Indians out of high school, but he was going to be the only kid in the family to go to college. So his mom wouldn't sign the draft papers and made him go to college, and ended up playing football at Virginia Tech. He was a quarterback for countless years. So so then he passed down that legacy, and then my uncles played football. My mom was on the dance team, and so passed down the legacy of sports. It's a big sports family.
That explains the genes in that family, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some families they're the other side of the TV screen, and they just enjoy cheering, and there's others that they're involved with the actual sport. And Ben, your family is big. You said your father was involved with the league, and
Still is.
Still is. Was there generations beforehand?
No. The fact of the matter is, my father wasn't allowed to play sports when he was a kid. My grandfather made him work.
Yeah.
So when one of my earliest memories of baseball is playing running bases or pickle with my father and my brother as a child, and I remember playing and. I was 7 or 8 years old, and I kind of started to really enjoy it. My father was a big Yankee fan growing up, but actually playing was a different story. So I asked to be able to play Little League, and that started my brother and I both playing. And my father having to work his whole life allowed us to work at this. As long as we were doing something, we were able to keep playing. And my brother and I both played collegiately. My brother played at the University of Rhode Island, and I was at NJIT scholarship. So we were able to take the lessons we learned, or that he learned as the work ethic wise, and apply it to something that really we enjoyed.
What'd your dad do for a living?
He's an attorney.
He's going to be humble, because that's how Ben is. But his dad's a big deal. Bob Julian is his name. As Ben said earlier, he was the president of the New York Penn League.
I heard that. I wrote that down, yes.
Yeah, and He's also a big-time attorney in the Utica area. He was a former state Supreme Court judge. And in his spare time, he's now the commissioner of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. So Ben is still kind of like, his dad is still his boss, if you know what I mean. He still has to answer to his dad for bad behavior.
Well, especially when I get ejected from the game. Which I set a new personal record.
Oh, no.
And got ejected in the 8th game of the season. So not exactly my shining moment, but in the same respect, you have to do it sometimes.
Well, the reason why I asked you about what your dad for a living, and you said that he had to go to work, is because you and I talked before the show that your dad was a first-generation U.S. citizen, correct?
Yeah. Well, my grandfather was the first one born.
Oh, your grandfather?
Yes.
Okay.
His father.
So your grandfather said to your father, you got to work.
My grandfather was worked on the railroad.
There you go.
As
There you
a
go.
child, and then lied about his age to join the Marines because
Yep.
apparently the railroad wasn't that much fun.
Yeah.
So he served in the Pacific and was at Belle Peleliu, and then came back. He became a barber while he was in the Marines, so he opened a barber shop. And so my father had to work sweeping the floors. And there's actually a photo that I love of my grandfather cutting hair and my father, a young version of my father who looked kind of like me when I was a kid, or I looked like him when I was a kid. So he had to sweep the floors and do those type of things. And
The reason why, because it struck a chord in me, because my mom and her brother were first-generation Sicilians in America, and their work ethic was like so tough on us. Me and my brother at times, she would say, "How'd you do today in school?" I said, "I got an A, or I got 100." It's just, "That's the best you could do." So the next week I came home. She goes, "How'd you do in school?" I said, "I got 105. I got extra credit." And I put the paper down and I walked out of the room. Bada bing. But it was that generation that had to prove themselves in the United States, right?
absolutely.
And it was a good thing. I mean, I don't regret it at all. My mom was very, very tough on me, and to push, and my brother as well. So that's what I heard coming from you is that generation of work ethic and work and hard in baseball. Obviously, is right there.
It's rubbed off on Ben. He's the first person at the ballpark in the morning, and he's the last person to leave at night.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to
I've
work.
never been ejected out of a baseball game, but I've gotten in trouble in museums. I always miss the sign that says, "Don't take a picture, don't touch." For some reason, I get in trouble. In this last trip, I was good, though. My wife made sure I didn't touch anything at the Parthenon. Randy, I don't think I've ever asked you, how'd you get involved with baseball? I mean, did you play ball?
Yeah, but not to the level that these guys are playing. I'm just.
It doesn't matter.
I'm a little league guy.
Yeah, like
but
me.
but I'm a huge sports fan, as you know,
Right.
and baseball is a sport that I enjoy very much. Not that I'm a major league fan. I rarely will watch a game on TV. When I want to see baseball, I go down to Russell Dietrich Park and watch my boys. That's the baseball that I want
Yeah,
to
it's
see.
more fun, yeah.
And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about baseball is no matter what level you played at, no matter what your memory is, you have your memory of sticking your glove
Right,
up.
exactly.
We all have this, and there's numerous quotes and stories and from every form of literature, movies, everything that center around this game. And it does not matter what level you've ever played at. We all have these memories of this game. It is America's pastime.
Yeah. I'm the town historian in Ripley, and I have found pictures of, like, I don't know, 1901 or something, where they have the baseball uniforms and the strange-looking hats and things like that, and lots of stripes and things like that. So it's been around forever.
We've traced baseball in the Jamestown area back to 1866.
Yeah. Yeah. You told
So,
me.
Yeah.
was that your last year of Little League?
Bada zing! You got two Mediterraneans on either side of you here. Eli, do you know he's a motorhead?
I didn't.
That's another story
No,
for another
yeah.
day. No, that's another day.
You have
That's
to ask
another
him
day. No,
after the show. You
we
talked
can talk about that
Motorhead.
another day.
Okay, so let's continue just jumping around here a little bit. All right, so people that are watching the show right now may be new to Chautauqua County because they come in for a week or two, just rent a cottage or go fishing and whatever. And so where exactly is Russell Dietrich Park?
It's on Falconer Street in Jamestown.
Okay.
Easy, very easy to find. We've got some nice promotions coming up that I would invite your listeners to pay attention to. This coming week, we're playing at home on Wednesday and Friday at 6:30. Sunday, the guys are playing a doubleheader at Dietrich Park, 2 o'clock and 5:30, and that is another free game. Doesn't cost anything to come in. It's
On that day, both games?
July
a week
23rd.
from- a week
Excuse me,
from
June
tomorrow.
23rd. It's the June 23rd, Sunday, June 23rd. It's being bought out by the Greater Chautauqua Federal Credit Union.
Sweet.
So walk right in. On June 25th, that's a Tuesday, at a 6:30 game. It's a $2 night. $2 to get in, $2 for hot dogs, $2 for beer.
How big is the beer?
It's $2.
It doesn't matter when it's $2. and
I'll
then-
take $10 worth.
And then here's another nice promotion. It's on Thursday, June 27th, another 6:30 game. It's another free game. This one is being bought out by Jamestown Community College.
JCC, who's
yeah.
like your neighbor right next door.
Well, yeah, we got to talk to that Eli about JCC here in a little bit. So again, another free night. So the 23rd on a Sunday, that's a free day.
Free.
Doubleheader. Tuesday the 25th is a $2 night, virtually free. Thursday the 27th is a free night. And then here's a fun one. Monday, July 1st.
1st of July, all right?
Fireworks. Fireworks.
Okay.
That's a big night.
What time? And that starts at what? 7?
That one's a 7 o'clock start. We need to start just a little later to make sure the sky is dark to shoot off the fireworks.
And all the dogs in the neighborhood are good with this? You didn't check with them?
No.
Okay.
Generally, skunks don't think about dogs.
Skunks are good with that.
Skunks don't think about dogs.
Okay. So let's talk about a pricing structure on the nights that somebody says, well, I can't make the free nights. I mean, how much is a ticket?
$6.
No, seriously, what's the price of a ticket to go to?
$6.
$6?
$6. And if you're elderly like me or a military vet, something like that, I think it's $5.
$6 to go watch a game.
Yeah. It's a very
That's a cup of coffee at
reasonable.
Starbucks or whatever.
Well, like I said, the 50 people that own this team, they're not about making money. They're about giving opportunities to families to have, entertainment that's not going to break the bank.
You pay these guys?
No, they're not professional. Well, we got to pay Ben.
All right. Certainly.
But the players, no. No,
Okay.
they're not professional. They're in college.
Hold that. Why are you doing this for nothing?
Love of the game.
Yeah. Well, what's your objective? I mean, why?
One, there's nothing better than playing baseball in summer.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
we get to live in the JCC dorms as we were talking about.
Sweet.
So imagine this. I mean, you get to go to a summer camp with 35 of the coolest guys you've met.
Mm-hmm.
You get to live with them for 2 months on Lake Chautauqua, and you get to play baseball every day.
Wow.
There's not much. I mean, that is getting paid.
Can these guys play more than one season for you guys?
Yes, we have 3 players on our team this year that were here last year. Is that right,
three
Coach?
returning from Jamestown itself. We have 3 players that played for me previously in Auburn.
Okay.
So yes, they can play multiple years in the league as long as they still have eligibility left. They're able to play.
Eli just summed it up very well about what it's like to play baseball in Jamestown. We house our players in the dorms at JCC. We have a nice arrangement with the college. I mean, we pay them, and they put
right
up
there.
our players, which is a good deal
You
for
roll
JCC.
out of bed onto this first
Well, they
base.
walk to work. They literally walk to work. And like Eli said, they don't get a whole lot of off days. But when they do get an off day, they're on Chautauqua Lake. They go fishing. They can play golf. I mean, they go up to Bemis Point and hang out. Am I right, Eli?
You know it. You know it.
It's a good place to be.
This is a great place to
wonderful
play
place.
summer baseball.
It's a great place to live, period.
Yeah.
All right.
Winters may say differently.
No.
That's why you're in St. Petersburg.
That's it.
Chautauqua County is the Miami of the North. Are you kidding? There's all good things here. We don't get floods. We don't get fire ants. We don't get tornadoes. We don't get hurricanes. We don't have mudslides. Help me. It's a great place to live. He's shaking his head.
Yes,
Okay.
well, I've lived here my whole life, so yeah, I like it. But I also like St. Petersburg.
Okay. So let me see if I got this right, Eli. So guys like you that love the game, obviously, that you come because this can give you more experience and perhaps move you into another level.
Absolutely.
Okay. So do you have any aspirations to go on from here?
Absolutely. So, being a junior college guy, you only get a couple years of eligibility, and usually the goal for junior college guys is to transfer out into a 4-year school and finish your degree. So that's also part of why I'm here. So getting more at bats and kind of getting more experience, more video, getting in front of different eyes, and trying to find my next home for the next 2 years, and then hopefully after that, if I can go to another school and perform the way I think I can, hopefully make the next step and just keep working hard and see if you can jump the ladder.
How is playing in college different than playing summer ball?
I think college, a lot of the stress and pressure of the season can get to you. You have a class schedule to balance.
There's no fishing or golf.
There's not much fishing in golf.
or anything else that's going on at Bemis Point.
It's nothing like Jamestown, but you have all these stresses and pressures.
Sure.
And, kind of the love of the game can kind of be put in the back seat, and it's almost treated like a job. You're at practice. I know as a junior college guy, there's no field regulation, so we are on the field for as long as the coach wants us to be there, and you know you're there because you love it, but it becomes a job. It's a 9 to 5, just like anything else. But then you come to a summer ball and you realize the love of the game again, and it's fun. And especially playing in front of Jamestown's crowd and for coach, I mean, you learn how to love the game real fast again. So that's also part of it too.
So how have you found Jamestown itself?
I'm having a blast.
Good.
I'm having a blast. I'm really only 2 hours away from home. I could go home whenever I want.
Oh, that's right.
But I don't want to go home at all. This is as he was saying, rapidly becoming a home. The community here, they support us. You go out and about and they hear Tarp Skunk and town takes care of you. It's a good place to be.
Just as an example, as soon as your show ends today, Ben and Eli are running back down to Wegmans. The whole team is going to be at Wegmans in their restaurant today from 11 to 1. The Lakewood Wegmans from 11 to 1. So Ben and his players are giving back to the community today. This is an off day for them. What do they do?
What are they doing there?
Signing autographs, talking to kids, whatever they want to do. So, I mean, I got to give these guys, they finally get a day off, but they still are thinking about being immersed in our community.
Kids look up to you.
Yes,
Just
sir.
like you looked up to someone else, and you looked up to someone else, and I looked up to someone else. It's how it works, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's one of the most special things about this league, I think, is those of us that grew up around minor league baseball, which has been contracted over the past couple of years. And small towns like Jamestown have lost professional baseball. So what we get to do is bring that kind of feel to the kids in the area and be able to sign autographs and give them something to build in their memories. And I know all these guys, they enjoy interacting with the kids and signing autographs. I mean, how many people, other than you and Randy, how many people walk down the street and get asked for autographs? So it's pretty special to be able to pass on that love for the game with the kids in the area. And I think we have a fine group of young men, and I couldn't think of 33 or 34 better ambassadors for the game than these young men.
And that's, I don't want to say this is all professional sports players, but many times I've seen myself where some kids will go up to somebody that's in sports, and I'm not going to pick any sport, and the guy just says, hey, and he keeps on going. You got to remember that, you got to keep that in the mind, that those kids are going like, there's Eli, I want his autograph, I want to get the, with the selfie and all that stuff. You got to take the time if you can. I understand people have schedules sometimes, but you got to be cordial. You got to be nice to people.
Last night there was a youth league team at the park, and before the game, Ben let the team come out on the field, play catch with our guys, and then our guys signed their ball caps and stuff. To a 6-year-old kid from Frewsburg, this is Aaron Judge.
That was big.
Slightly different.
Slightly smaller.
But I mean, this is the Yankee.
Yeah.
This is the Yankee.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So it's again, all the credit goes to Ben and the players for for giving of themselves to our community.
So Ben, you get 34, 35 guys you've never met before, other than the ones from Auburn. And they walk in. So what are the trials and tribulations as a coach that you have to deal with these guys for the first week or two? Well, I'll get them up, I see.
No, it is tough. I mean, because you bring all these people together from various walks of life, different places in the country, and you kind of know a little bit about them because there is communication once they're recruited. And you kind of try to get everyone together and on board and rowing the boat in the same direction. And sometimes there's egos, there's attitudes, there's personalities that can conflict. And so especially this year, I try to do is get kind of everybody on board with the right mentality before we got here. I know Eli likes to be a second baseman, but we talked about him playing third base for us and playing other places. And as long as he was on board with what our goal was, it would work out. And so luckily I talked to majority of the team previously before they got here, kind of an interview process almost, and let them know about me and what we're trying to do and what I wanted to provide for them this summer. And everyone's kind of on board. So we were very lucky this year when everyone got here. Everyone kind of had an idea of what they're going to expect, and I'm pretty explicit about what I expect from them as far as the way they dress, the way they handle themselves, all these little things, because the devil's in the details, or if to put it another way, if you take care of little things, big things take care of themselves. And so from the way we stand for the national anthem, from the way we dress, from all these things, they're very important. And I don't really, I know Randy probably doesn't want to hear this, but if we don't win another game, but yet are good people, and if we handle ourselves properly and they become better young men, I've done my job.
I bet every one of us that watches a sport on TV and the national anthem comes on and we watch the players to see which ones have their hats off, have their hand over their heart, or are singing. Am I right? We all do. I bet we do. And I look at some of these guys and go, what's the problem here? Why aren't you?
And I don't. I mean, to me, it's not a political statement.
No.
It is first and foremost. Both my grandfathers served in World War II.
Yeah.
For those people that were brave enough to put on the uniform, for those that died for our country, for our ability to play this game, and every year June 6th, I talk about how these kids, their age, were storming the beach in Normandy.
Yes.
And we are able to do what we do because of people that walked before us.
Yeah.
And I think it's only right to be able to honor them by, in one small way. And so I'm particular about that part. Plus, I just think it looks really good.
It looks good. It's a unified team.
Yeah.
So jumping around a little bit, Randy, since this league was formed, has anybody moved up?
I'm going to defer to Ben. He's more of an expert on the history of the league than I am.
So as far as the players go, I mean...
Oh, yeah. There's a lot. I mean, Cedric Mullins, who's the center fielder for the Baltimore Orioles, he played in Utica in the Perfect Game Collegiate League. There's numerous major leaguers that have come from this league. I personally have 15 players that are playing professional baseball at the moment.
Really?
That is some form of professional baseball. And I have, I think, one that played for me in 2021 is going to be a high round draft pick this year, who might end up being my first major leaguer if he stays healthy. So.
Now, what about from the Jamestown area? Anybody? Yet?
Not yet.
Not from this
yet.
iteration of the league, but
We've only, this is only the 4th year we've had a club, so in this league, so it inevitably is going to happen.
Right.
We'll get kids that will advance. Right. Here's an interesting story that maybe you guys don't know. Do you know what the Savannah Bananas are? The Savannah Bananas baseball team. Hello?
I'm looking to Randy's.
Okay.
Wait a minute, Savannah Bananas?
I equate them to the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Really?
They play all over the United States in front of huge crowds at major league parks, and they've got a team that travels with them that is the opponents.
Yeah.
And although they play serious baseball,
They make it fun.
oh, do they make it fun.
I have never heard of them before.
Do yourself YouTube Savannah Bananas. These guys are big time. Their third baseman, Danny Hosley, played for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks 3 years ago. So there's a guy who is making money, big time, playing baseball.
All right, folks. You heard it here first.
Savannah Bananas.
Savannah Bananas.
They're
It's not a drink. It's a team.
They're playing in Buffalo at the Bison's Park sometime in July. When the Bisons put up the tickets on sale, sold out the first day. So if you want to go, you can't go. Even if you know Ben Julian, you can't go.
I just learned about them. How can I get a ticket?
Savannah Bananas. They're hilarious. Right?
I wrote it down as right there. Savannah Bananas. I wrote it
There's
down.
a test on this afterwards.
Look at all my notes. I keep notes. See that? Oh, God. It's always this way. Ben, let's start with you. We're down to 2 minutes, and then I'm going to go to Eli and then let you finish up. So, Ben, for those that are watching right now, and remember, this is going to be shown twice a day for the rest of the week. You're going to be on the radio, and you're going to be around the world and on YouTube and Facebook. Why come to watch the Tarp Skunks?
Because there's nowhere else that you can get, especially for the price, this level of baseball with this level of passion, and this group of fine young men that are playing the greatest game on earth.
Okay. And we went to a couple of games over the years, us guys, and you had one player, he was a pitcher, and every time you pitched, his hat fell off.
We have a staple gun for that reason.
Ben wouldn't allow a player's hat to fall off.
Am I right?
Yes. I know who you're talking about.
All right, so, but it was enjoyable. And, you look at the pros, and it's like watching paint dry. You look at you guys, it's action, and it's fast, and it's fun, and that's why I enjoy it. So, Ben, I wish you the best for your season and continuing success in what you do. Thank you for joining us. Eli, you're next. Young kids that may be watching, parents or whatever, tell us why they should get involved with baseball or this league down the road.
You'll never find a community as close-knit as baseball, in my opinion. The amount of people I've met, the amount of friendships I've made, and the community that supports me, that's behind me, it's all through baseball. I call it the tier system. The farther you get into baseball, the less tiers there are to people you know. So I'm sure Coach knows somebody that I know through him, and then it's just a small community on a big scale, and there's nothing like it.
Very good. Well, and I wish you continued success in Plan A and Plan B.
Thank you.
Randy, you get the last 20-some seconds here. So what do you want to share with folks?
Well, I just want to remind people to stop down at the stadium. Check out our schedule. It's online, JamestownTarpSkunks.com. I'm
on your Facebook page. I get all your announcements.
Very good. And so I've outlined some upcoming promotions. The boys that will be here for all of June and all of July. They play like 48 games, I think, something like that. They don't get a whole lot of days off. So it's intensive baseball, but it is so much fun. I circle the ball game on my schedule. That's the number one thing to do. Go watch the Skunks.
All right. Guys, thanks for joining us. And baseball is right up there with the best of the best things that we do in life. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed the show with my friend Randy Anderson and Ben and Eli. Good for you. We're going to do this again for next week as well. So let's get out there and watch some baseball, get some hot dogs, and watch some fireworks, and just enjoy all the good things here in Chautauqua County. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend, and happy Father's Day to all of you that are involved with kids and families. Take care. Bye-bye.